Entering the country, it was an experience.
Whole villages flattened.
I had never seen something like that before in my life. The mountainsides were just falling in and collapsed into the valleys.
People just standing around not knowing where to go, what to do. They needed help when we got there.
It's pretty sobering, especially some of the areas you would see flat piece of concrete, and then you get to realizing that that had previously been a 4-story building and it was just pancaked down on top of each other.
It's just amazing to even see that people had survived some of those areas. Hundreds of people were flocking toward the helicopter, just begging for anything that you could hand out to them. They'd clasp their hands together in a praying motion, just begging, give me food or give me water. When they saw a helicopter coming, they started to assemble on where they thought it was going to land. In fact, it seemed like every day there was another H showing up on the ground. They realized that H meant landing pad, helicopter was going to land there, and there'd be multiple H's show up around the countryside.
It was all mountains. The mountains were anywhere between 8,000 at the lowest all the way up to 20,000 because of the Himalayan mountain chain. And the mountains weren't so scarce, they were everywhere. So everywhere we flew, we were up tight valleys.
Oftentimes the crosswinds, you would never really know which way the wind was coming because of the mountains, but we never had any issues with the controllability of the aircraft at all, and it was just, it was amazing. The Chinooks were given all of the heavy missions. There were, hundreds of other aircraft there from around the world, but the Chinooks were the primary movers. We moved in excess of 2 million pounds of food and water and blankets and tents. We hauled around 1,700 evacuees, refugees.
It gives you confidence knowing that you could take 10,000 pounds of equipment to an altitude of 17,000 feet and knowing the aircraft is going to be able to do it.
To be able to carry high weight at high altitudes, almost anywhere and any weather, is a great confidence that I have in this aircraft. So I know if I get caught in these situations, I have the aircraft in order to get me out if I need to.
All the U.S. aircraft had large U.S. flags on the side of the aircraft because we very much wanted the people of Pakistan to know not just the Chinook was bringing them food and blankets and tents, but it was the people of the U.S.
It was a big motivator for us to see, the people that were there thanking us for the food, supplies, and looking forward to us coming back every day.
It was good to go to that part of the country that typically does not agree with some of our policies, foreign policies and politics and religion, and all that put aside, and they were just very happy that we were there.
The favorite ongoing toy that all the Pakistani children wanted was a toy Chinook, because all the time they saw, every time a Chinook flew over or landed somewhere, it was always to bring aid. And because of that, all the children wanted this little toy Chinook that they had.
So, we hope that maybe as recruiters come through trying to recruit these young kids into the way of terror, that they'll remember the U.S. and the Chinooks that saved them that winter, and that maybe they'll make a different choice.